Today we're going to talk about a very cool gun, very rare, very valuable gun in this country. Today's video is going to be about the Arsenal SGL 2194, and this particular one has a very cool story and is extremely special to me, not for the fact that it's very rare, very expensive, though it is, but it has a whole nother meaning to me because of how I acquired it. It's actually kind of interesting thing. Nothing like that has ever happened to me before. Factory folding stock Saiga that wasn't available very long. So let's go ahead and get into what it is. And hey, if you like this channel or you like the kind of content that we put out and you feel like supporting us in any way, shape, or form, that is awesome. It's greatly appreciated. Best way to do that is to pick yourself up a hat or one of our very cool AK themed t-shirts at thirdpinthreads.com. We don't really want to do Patreon, and we don't do paid ad reads for ball sack razors. We made our own merch. That's what we do. If you want to help us out, you get something in return other than the content. So swing on by. We got a lot of really cool shirts on there, and we also sell our event t-shirts. So even if you weren't there, anything that we have left over from the events, we throw it on the website. If you didn't make it to Clash Bash, you didn't make it to Lethal Weapons, you can still buy an event t-shirt. They're really cool shirts. Every bit the quality of our normal third pin shirts, so feel free to pick one of those up too. And really helps us out, so thank you so much. Back to this gun. So quickly, what is an SGL 2194? Well, before 2014, before the Russian ban on rifles like this, you could go to any gun show, any gun store, and you would see a butt ton, a literal butt ton of Saiga sporterized AKs. This is what they looked like. If you don't remember, that's just how they had to import them. A lot of AKs sold through Arsenal were converted to like SGL 21s, 31s. These were like, you know, fully converted back to carbines in 5.45 and in 7.62. Well, a step even beyond that, very rare step, is the SGL 21 and 31 94. These were the 5.45s and 7.62s with 16-inch barrels, virtually the same as like an SGL 21 and 31 that would have the fixed stock. However, through Arsenal Fine, they actually installed the 5.5 hinge pin rear folding stock trunnion. And, you know, a few other things that they would do back then. These guns would come in without the accessory lugs. These would be installed. I don't believe they had the bayonet lugs. These would have to be adapted. And they would really get you as close to an AK-103 than we've ever gotten in this country. A lot of Russian AKs came in. Very few came in like this with the 100 series 5.5 folding stock. So that is what makes this particular gun so special. These would have come in before 2014. In fact, it's funny, if you still look these up online, like you can still find ads from like Atlantic Firearms when these would have been sold. Back then, they could not have been more than like between $900 and $1,100. That's just what this stuff was selling for back in the day, and that is certainly not the case anymore. So after 2014, all Russian AKs became extremely collectible and valuable, and now it gets worse and worse every year. Once we lost the Veprs too, and now no Russian AKs are coming in, the Saigas really jumped up in price. So that's why I've never really owned one. I could just, when I got into AKs, Bulgarian guns were everywhere. The SLR 107s, 106s, 104s, they were everywhere. They were fully featured. They had the folding stocks, and they were 1,100 bucks. So back then, it's like 2015, 2016 time frame, I never really saw the point to spending Russian AK money, because by that time they'd already been banned for a little while, and they were already fairly more expensive than the Bulgarian 100 series coming in through Arsenal. So these were always just kind of a pipe dream, and like the more I thought about it, years would go by. Saigas have just gotten completely out of reach, completely out of touch, to the point where even if you did buy one for stupid money, you're probably not going to shoot it much, because these are like collector grade AKs at this point. Anyway, fast forward several months ago, a good buddy of mine, Mario Parada, he was the head gunsmith for a long time at Lee Armory. A highly decorated competitive shooter using AKs, crushes Clash Bash every year, crushes Red October, like everywhere he goes, scores extremely high with an AK at competitions. And he's become a really good buddy of mine. Like the dude was even a groomsman at my wedding. Mario, for a long time, had talked about, you know, maybe one day I'll go into business for myself as a gunsmith, specifically an AK gunsmith. He really made a big name for himself as a highly talented AK gunsmith. A lot of people know who Mario Parada is. So a little while ago, he told us that he was going to go into business for himself. He found some shop space, had a little bit of tooling, got his FFL, and decided to do it for real. So as a good buddy of his, we were all extremely proud of him. Anyone that knew he was doing this was extremely proud of him. I mean, you're quitting like guaranteed money, a guaranteed day job, to bet on yourself, inject all the cash you possibly can, and give it all of your time. You know, Mario's married, he's got kids, he's got the whole thing, and everyone backed him up, and he decided this is what he wanted to do. So he opens the doors, and he makes a big post on Instagram that he needs to make a lot of money really fast to inject some cash into the business, get the final bit of tooling that he needed, and start up. So he basically started a campaign to auction off the raffle tickets, his SGL 2194, his prized AK that he has had since probably, I don't know, 2012, 2013, whenever these things first came out. He's had it for a long, long time, and it's been his baby, right? So this raffle that he's doing starts to build a ton of hype on Instagram, and when it was go time, you know, I don't think anyone entered his raffle thinking, oh, like I can't freaking, it would be so cool to win that gun. I think most people, we love Mario so much, we just wanted to, you know, buy one of his raffle tickets to help him get the money that he needed to start this business up, because we had talked about it for so long, and everyone wanted to see him succeed. So anyway, he sells 100 tickets to this thing, and as the hype train's building, Jeremy Gresham at IWI, who also really likes Mario, throws in a Galil to the raffle. And then a pistol gets thrown into the raffle. Anyway, tickets are selling, and he texts me and he's like, yo, tickets are selling a little bit faster than I thought. Are you going to buy into this? I'm like, absolutely, I'm going to buy into this. So we tried, his PayPal gets shut down. His Cash App gets shut down because, well, you know how that works with gun stuff. So anyway, we finally find a way for him to take my money, and everyone's just trying to throw money at the guy to buy tickets. By the time I finally get mine in, I landed on number 89 out of 100 tickets. I thought, that's interesting. That's my birth year. So, you know, feeling lucky. But he ended up selling like all of his tickets in like a day and a half. All of them. He had all the money he needed to start the business. Everyone was super proud of him. It was awesome. And then a couple days later, he goes live on Instagram to do the raffle. Starts off by, you know, telling everyone how it's going to work. He's got a random number generator on his phone, and that's how a lot of raffles on Instagram work. Usually they'll enter the numbers, they spin the wheel, and that's what happens. I'm sure you've all entered one. Happens on Reddit, and Instagram and Facebook happens all the time, right? So anyway, Rachel and I are watching live on the phone, and Mario's there with his wife, Desiree, and she's like reading through the comments, and you know, he's getting everyone hyped, and he says, all right, we're going to give away the pistol first. So he swipes the wheel, lands on a number, we all cheer. Someone just won a brand new pistol, so that was awesome. I wish I could remember what kind of pistol it was, I don't. So next up, he comes to the Galil. And not just any Galil, this is like a Gen 1 Rock and Lock. I believe it was a 5.56 Galil, like very rare. Jeremy Gresham really hooked him up with that, and Jeremy Gresham is just a freaking OG at IWI. The guy will just give prizes to like anything that's extremely community driven. He's all about that, and he throws it in there, right? I remember at the time thinking, damn, that's a nice ass Galil, man. That would be so cool to win. So I'm kind of like really hoping I win this one. He spins the wheel, it lands on someone's number, not my number, you know, I never win anything. So everyone cheers. Someone just got a brand new, very rare Gen 1 Galil Ace. So get to the last one, right? This SGL 21, and he even has a real deal Izzy 103 mag. Polymer 103 mag, like the real deal. Where's that proof stamp? Yeah. The mag alone is almost impossible to find these days. Just the whole package, man. Anyway, I remember thinking like, ah, man, it's gonna be so cool to see whoever wins this. Like, and I have the thought in my head, you know, we've done so many Kalash Bashes by now. I think we've done 4. We've done 3 or 4 of our Christmas events, our Lethal Weapons event. Our group that puts on those events, through the vendors giving us prizes, we have probably given away several hundred guns over the years to winners that come out to these events randomly. Those of you that have been there, you know how we do it. And I'm thinking, man, you know, I just don't know what it feels like to be in a crowd, get your number called, get your name called, and win something really freaking cool like this. It has never, ever happened to me. I'm always the one with the team behind the table calling those people to come up and do it. You know, I've been to all the Red Octobers, been to all the stuff, and I've just never won anything, like randomly. It's just never happened. Never won a gun like that. Anyway, so I remember texting in the group chat, or not the group chat, but in the comment section of the Instagram, I'm like, ah, man, it'd be so freaking cool to win this thing. Just, you know, feeding the algorithm, putting a comment in there, right? And it's funny, he goes to spin the wheel, and the wheel's spinning. Desiree is reading the comments live, his wife, and she says, oh, Clay just commented it'd be so cool to win it. And then it tick, 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 slows down, stops, lands on 89. As she's reading my comment, and he goes, they kind of look at each other all wide-eyed, and it didn't quite hit right away. I was just like, 89. And Rachel like looks at me like, that's your freaking number. I'm like, holy shit. And Mario goes, dude, you freaking won. I'm like, oh my, holy, 89. Yeah, that's the number I picked. Oh my God. Like it didn't sink in. It took like 10 or 15 seconds to sink in. Oh, the comment section's going crazy. It was just so freaking cool. And I won this damn thing. Man, and what made it so special, like Mario is a close friend of mine that I met doing all of this stuff. I met Mario at Red October, I want to say in like 2017. I was literally standing there about to shoot a stage, and this dude I've never met comes up and he goes, hey, Clay, do you mind if we like hang out over here and watch you guys shoot? I think back then maybe he had seen like an Instagram post of mine or whatever, recognized me there, and like wanted to come see me and my buddy Chris shoot, because Chris and I used to be like all over Instagram shooting AKs. That's how Mario and I met. Ever since then, like he would fly to Texas to shoot a match with us. We'd go shoot Red October again, and we visited Phoenix and stayed at his place once, and went to Lee Armory and checked out how they build AKs. Like we've just known Mario so long and done so much that like I even wanted him to be a groomsman at my wedding, and the wedding was freaking off the chain. The night before the wedding was off the freaking chain with all the groomsmen, and if you know, you know, if you were there. But that's just what made this thing so special, man. Like one of my really, truly good friends who I met because of the love of AKs and the community surrounding it, I won his freaking gun in a raffle that helped him start his business. Like the whole thing is just so fortuitous. It's so special to me. It really doesn't matter to me how rare and how valuable this gun is, because it is extremely rare and very valuable. It doesn't matter because it's never going to go anywhere. I'm never going to sell it. If I have a kid one day, I don't care, boy, girl, whatever, like it's going to be in the will. You can never, ever sell that gun. I don't care if you're homeless. Like that gun has to stay in the family. It means that much to me. So that is how I acquired a freaking unicorn, a holy grail AK in this country, for lack of a better term, an AK-103. In fact, we talked about this gun in a recent video where I talk about the generational changes between like Type 1, Type 2, Type 3 on into the AKM, on into the 100 series, where, in my opinion, I think the AK just got as good as it was ever going to get with the 100 series, 545s and the 762s. This is like quintessential premium AK stuff right here. And I've never owned a Russian AK ever. And, you know, Vepers are cool and everything, but there's just something about a Saiga. Never owned anything like this. It's just cool. Like, I never want to change anything out on it. I'm never going to change the furniture. I'm like geeking out on the proof stamps everywhere. It's got the cleaning kit in the stock. I mean, it's so complete. It's so awesome. It's just, it's awesome. And we have a matching mag with it. It's very special, a very special thing. You know, I'm sure some of you that are watching this video really want to geek out on everything that is the SGL 21s and 31s. I would tell you to go check out the Misha Co channel. Misha Co has, in fact, I've even got the video like paused on my computer. I was watching it, getting ready for this video. Misha Co has some awesome videos on the history of the Arsenal Legion SGL 21s, 31s, and even how the 94, the Dash 94 side folders came to be, what they really are, like how close they are to the 100 series. And it is as good as this country ever got with the 100 series AK. It's as close as we ever got. And it's just so freaking special, man. Go check out Mario on Instagram. You might as well. Here's his Instagram here. And go check out SOF Defense, the company that this gun helped him build when he raffled it off. So proud of the guy. I'm proud to call him a friend. And thanks for watching. See you next time.
Attention campers. Lunch has been cancelled due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.